All right, Friday's upon us already. They watch this video for Friday, July 20th. Pretty narrow range on the SPY. If I show you intraday, the action today, this is just a complete chop fest. It was just, gap down, bounced a little bit, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So it just very slow day. My buddy Wayne said that he called me a leading indicator when he watches my Twitter feed and I'm tweeting boredom stuff, maybe even not trade related. He knows the market's slow. So it's, I feel successful. I'm finally an indicator. I've always wanted to be some kind of leading indicator. All right, anyway, here's what I'm watching tomorrow. It's not a very big list. PED, which actually I don't love this now. I thought it would be interesting through 3 today. It ended up, Jane called this long on an opening range breakout, just a red to green right there. Just a great call in chat. Made a huge move. But it ended up closing pretty close to its lows. As a day trader, that was a great call. Plenty of money to be made. But now it's kind of like you see these topping tails up around $3. So because it's been so active lately, I'm going to put it on watch, but certainly not in love with it. Remember, when you watch my videos, I'm a day trader, so I'm looking for things to make me some money on an intraday basis and I'm in cash every night. MDXG had this really nice volume breakout. After you had this gap down and then sideways action, then a big volume breakout of this kind of, I don't know, week and a half range. So we'll see if it's going to have a continuation day tomorrow. Goes on watch. This one, I hesitated to put this on watch because today's candle only traded 156,000 shares, but sometimes these recent reverse splitters get going, and this, irrespective of a recent reverse split, is interesting. You can see right there it says 1 for 10 right there, but it's a nice chart. I mean, over this $9 area, you might break through this high. It's really kind of coiled, and let's see, 200 days at 964. I don't know. So it looks like it's kind of coiled for a breakout. Going to keep an eye on it, but it's really low volume, so don't know if it'll give us any kind of setup or not. ADOM, nice volume spike today, coming out of a kind of a sideways base, but it closed well off its highs, which makes me like it a lot less. But we'll see if it gives a red to green tomorrow or something, some kind of setup like that. TRT, this big volume spike here, it's worth noting that this is 415,000 shares, so it's a thin stock. But it did have a strong move today and actually closed fairly strong. So that's enough to get me to watch it tomorrow. CPAH, I don't love this one at all because you've got from the gap up and the huge move. Everyone from yesterday is pretty much underwater. Today, a more narrow range. So when you switch to 15-minute candles, you could make the argument that it's found support between 3 and 320. So maybe the next move is up. But with a lot of people underwater, if you emailed me and said, why the hell is that on your list, I won't really have a good answer for you, other than big volume yesterday, and I couldn't find much to put on the list today. STAF, huge move, pulled back for like a week, then a nice secondary bounce, and then today kind of an inside day, but closing near its high. So this one absolutely goes on watch for tomorrow. Looks pretty strong. Gene looks a little bit like CPAH, had the gap up, the big move, but switching to 15-minute candles, it's just forming a base here now. And if it's not going to break down any further, then the next logical move could be up. The opening 15-minute high the day after the big move was $1.41. It never broke it that day. The next day, the opening high, 135, never broke it that day. And then today, the opening high is 135. And so you have 2 days in a row that it hit 135. So tomorrow, if it can break 135, you're breaking basically a 2-day, or if you count the morning trading, a 3-day high, depending on how it trades tomorrow. So you got nice support below. Again, it's kind of a weird chart with the topping tail. It looks a little better when you switch to 15-minute candles because you're still above where it started. It started here, right? Then it gapped up and found support. So anyway, you got to like the move it made the day it gapped up, right? It opened at 144, and over the course of 30 minutes or a little bit more than that, it went all the way to 204. So that's certainly a nice move. Maybe it's capable of a fraction of that tomorrow. We'll see. And then SRAX had this pop, then a red day, and then kind of right back up again. So this one is sort of interesting for a potential long. We'll see what kind of setup it gives tomorrow, if any. I'm going to leave it at that. Check the links down below. There's some really nice links down below, one of which is a link to our free webinars. So check those out. If you want some free education, go to that free webinar page, and there's also a couple really nice specials down below too. I'm going to leave it at that. Have a great night, and we'll see everybody on Friday.